Good evening, Squires. It's your boy Isadora. Welcome back to my channel. This is a July and August favorites video. We're including favorites, fails, and two things I have a complicated relationship with, shall we say. This includes makeup, media, perfume, music. So let's get into it. All right. First off, the first thing I found out over the last 2 months, which I really love, is a music favorite. This is a French rock band called the Liminianas. So they have a wide range of music. They have music, at least as far as I've listened to. I haven't listened to their whole discography yet, but they have songs in French, English, and Spanish. They have instrumental music. They collab with a ton of different musicians. My favorite song of theirs in English is called Hold Please. No, I've genuinely listened to this like 85,000 times. In English, gotta be My Black Sabbath and Prisoner of Beauty. Now, Prisoner of Beauty has one of my favorite lines in all of music. It's, I'm a prisoner of beauty in a theater of cruelty. Yes, I'd say they have kind of like a classic rock, indie rock vibe. It really depends on who they collab with. Some of the songs are more spare. Some of the songs are more robust, you know what I mean? As far as their French songs, I'm a big fan of Je ne suis pas très drôle. Love that one. As far as Spanish, they have a song called Calentita, which I love too. Again, I speak English and Spanish. I know un peu français, pero what's it? No puis parle bien. I don't know, man. Fuck. Anyway, I super recommend the Liminianas if you like modern classic rock sounding shit. Fire. Next is a film favorite. This is Blackula. So if you want to know more about my thoughts, I'm just going to get really shallow into it, but I have a video up on ranking the 13 last films I've seen. Blackula is a 70s blaxploitation vampire movie. It's, as far as I know, one of the first movies with a sympathetic, romantic, sexy Dracula in it. And it's got incredible, it's just an incredible period piece. The vibes were incredible. The costumes, love them. You know, the way the vampires are done, I think it's really funny and entertaining when they have the vampire fights and deaths because they look fucking ridiculous. But anyway, 10/10 recommend Blackula. One of my favorites. My next favorite is a perfume combo. This is bougie, but again, remember, I don't buy full-size perfumes. So we're mixing travel sizes, and this is Kilian Smokin' Hot plus Burberry Goddess. Intense Burberry Goddess. It's just a super rich, decadent, elevated vanilla. It's not the best vanilla ever. It's not the worst vanilla ever, but that shit smells expensive. And it better because it literally is expensive. Kilian Smokin' Hot. I would not recommend this to everybody unless you like a smoky perfume and you like a tobacco perfume and you don't care if you choke people out with your scent. Again, I really like to wear Smokin' Hot by its own, but I really like mixing it with vanillic and fruity perfumes. I also really like to mix it with Kayali Love Fest Burning Cherry. That's another favorite. Anyway, I think it's an amazing perfume to make things edgier and smokier and last longer and be deeper and darker. It's an evil Dubai villain perfume. Fire. You know those memes where it's you seem like you'd like Dubai, derogatory. This is the perfume of that. I love it. Alright, my next favorite is a YouTube channel. So this is called Lo-Fi Symphony. I don't know if you're a fan of chill beats to study and relax to, but I find a lot of these channels, they'll be oh, this is a spooky lo-fi mix. And it's literally just a normal lo-fi mix with a picture of a ghost on it. I found one where they were literally doing lo-fi covers of Bruno Mars songs, alright? And they were oh, it's a Halloween mix for witches because we put a woman in a witch hat on it. I'm pretty sure this is the lo-fi instrumental version of Amazing by Bruno Mars. Anyway, Lo-Fi Symphony is not like that. They have like the spooky, like trip hop, like lo-fi mixes. I play them when I clean and when I work. Been a big fan of them. Like, I'd say over the past like 3 weeks or so. I'll link them below. Like, when I talk about like creators, especially on YouTube, you can find the stuff linked below. All right, my next favorite is the Chobani Pumpkin Spice Coffee Creamer. On the day that I'm filming this, I think it's like September 1st or 2nd, and I found the Chobani Pumpkin Spice Coffee Creamer in a store like a week and a half ago, and I already drank that entirely by myself, so I love it! I'm feral for pumpkin spice already! Hell yeah, brother! Anyway, next thing, so, oh, I gotta look up the name of this creator really fast. Hold, please. Alright, so I hear a lot of people saying that, like, Meta is racist and they hide, like, content from, like, creators who aren't white. Tell me why it just took me, like, 15 minutes to find the profile of, Ganja Gwen. She is, like, the high-protein cheesecake queen of Instagram reels. I love her because of her. Like, I've started like making high protein cheesecake desserts and like puddings inspired by like the stuff she does. I think she calls them like Cheesecake Mondays, and every Monday she'll do like a high protein, low sugar, like Biscoff cheesecake, chocolate peanut butter cheesecake, like strawberry, all kinds of different things. And she's funny as fuck. Like, I love her so much. Like, honestly, I find Ganja Gwen like super refreshing. Like, it seems like a lot of people on Instagram reels, on TikTok, they're just like, I don't know, they're just like stuck in the prison of like customer service voice, or like, I don't know, maybe some of these people are just genuinely nice and sweet and like I'm a hater, but like Ganja Gwen is like, you can do whatever you want with it, don't ask me if you can replace shit. And I love it because literally in every recipe video I've ever seen, there's some dumbass in the comments like, hey, can I make this like mac and cheese recipe but like replace the pasta with spinach and like replace the cheese with protein powder? And it's like, oh, what are you talking about? Ganja Gwen, she's like, don't ask me if you can replace it, do whatever you want, because why? It's your shit. I love Ganja Gwen. She's the best. Anyway, she's been inspiring me a lot to make like my own version of different high protein desserts. I have fallen off of like the calorie deficit I was doing. I had a stressful week, but like I've made a couple really cool like high protein desserts over the last month because of her. I made one with like vanilla and raspberries that was delicious. So shout out to Ganja Gwen. Like, she's the best, dude. After her, another thing I've been really into is brown lip liner and like red lipsticks. So like I kind of like it when it's like kind of messy and overlined and slutty. Like, it gives some like Frankenfurter from Rocky Horror vibes. What I have on today is the Maybelline, it's like the Slim Matte lipstick. This is in 190, more ruby. And the brown lip liner I've been going to the most is MAC Chestnut. But I'll pair this with all kinds of stuff. Like, I've also been really liking it. This is like a slutty fire red. This is like the Evil Mom and David Lynch Wild at Heart red. This is the Revlon Colorstay Suede ink in... You ever think you're gonna burp, but then you don't burp? Anyway, this is 007, Feed the Flame. I've also been liking doing like a lighter brown lip liner with, this is the Kosas Wet Lip Oil in Jaws. I'm just loving bright red lips with like a brown lip liner, a little bit overlined, a little bit crazy. Like, like the more I see online, like a bunch of like 15-year-olds bullying each other to dress like Republican Stepford wives, I'm like, I'm gonna be sluttier, gayer, messier, more ridiculous. And if a bunch of 12-year-olds want to bully me, that's fine. I come from a Jewish family. You can't say anything to me that the other women in my family haven't already said to me from the time I was like old enough to understand language. Moving along, my next favorite is the track Walk Like a Motherfucker by the Ghost Funk Orchestra. You can see I'm on like a very like rock, funk, like soul vibes. Even loving the movie Blackula, like they got like the like Gladys Knight and the Pip style, like musical performance interludes in the middle for no reason. Fire. Walk Like a Motherfucker, that just made me feel so cool. Like I put it on and I'm like, hell yeah, boy. I don't know if that just looked like goofy as shit, but like I'm goofy as shit. So next, it's gotta be this tattoo. Now, this was done by a Mexico City tattoo apprentice named Chaco Gorola. He's the best ever. All right, so like I was looking around because I've really wanted a pomegranate tattoo for like a long ass time, man. Like I've been looking for like this, especially with like, and it's got vampire fangs and a sword. I'll put up like a good image of it. But so I think he's like 22 or 23 years old, and he has already such like a defined and fascinating like whimsical, like it reminds me of something that would kind of be in the family of like Remedios Varo and like Leonora Carrington. Again, I love like surreal occult art, okay? So when I saw him, I was like, please stab me. And probably in a couple months I might get another tattoo from him as well, which I'm really excited about, based on the 30s vampire movie Dracula's Daughter. But anyway, I love him. I love his tattoos. As far as I know, he like travels around Mexico to different studios like tattooing. So you might be able to catch him in like some different cities, but most of the time he's in Mexico City. And I'll insert the name of the tattoo studio where he's the apprentice at here. I don't remember. I think it's like Remedio Tattoos maybe. But he's really cool. It was dope to get a tattoo from him. I felt like this was like super collaborative, and I don't know, sometimes like tattoo artists, they can have like a weird ego, or like they don't listen to you at all. And it's like, yo, like homie, this shit is gonna be on me for the rest of my life. Like, shouldn't you listen to me about it? But I did not. He's just super cool, and like he'll hear you out and like tweak tattoos, and like he gives the people what they want, and he has a beautiful art style. So I'm obsessed with my new tattoo. I'm thriving. The other thing that I have to put as a favorite is the legs up the wall yoga pose. This is also called Viparita Karani in Hindi. But just for us like English ass speaking bitches, legs up the wall pose. Now, I've been struggling with agonizing sciatica since April. Over the last like 6 weeks, I have started to improve a lot, and I believe it's due to like a combination of things I've been doing. So I'm gonna talk about that in another video, so look out for that. But one thing I super would recommend you at least try, if you have any kind of back problems, is legs up the wall pose. Next, something I've been just listening to over and over and over again is Led Zeppelin's first album. I think it is their best album. Does it have like their most original material? No, it's a lot of shit, or it's like kind of like blues standards, or like shit they stole from like other artists. I think there's a dude called Jake Holmes who came out with a more like folk version of it. They pretty much just took his song. But who knows? That guy might have stolen it, probably from a black guy. That's rock music anyway. But I've been listening to Led Zeppelin 1. Or nobody calls it Led Zeppelin 1. I don't think so. I don't remember, dude. The brain juices. Actually, I don't think I had a protein coffee when I woke up, but I've had no food today, and it's almost 2 p.m. So I think I'm getting a little wacky. I was planning on having a protein coffee and working out, but my shoulders and back are so sore. It's weird. I worked out 2 days ago. I didn't feel anything yesterday. I woke up this morning like, ow, kill me. So I don't know, anyway. But we're gonna push through because I'm almost done with this. I think the protein coffee is protein coffeeing. Am I like talking hella fast? I don't know. I'm a huge Led Zeppelin fan, honestly, even though I do know they stole a lot of shit. I have a Led Zeppelin tattoo, like, bigger than maybe like the length of a banana, like on my thigh. So yeah, I've been bumping Led Zeppelin one while I like clean and like do chores and stuff. Been thriving on that. Another thing, so I'll tag the recipe below when I can find it. I gotta go through all the messages of me and my friend, but we made a fugazeta, which is like an Argentinian cheese stuffed and onion stuffed pizza bread. Like, honestly, my bestie, like, she is the bread queen. So, like, she knows how to, like, make her own bread flour. Like, anytime I eat anything she's baked, it's, like, the best thing. So, this fugaceta recipe, we followed it. This is, Argentinian. Like, I love Argentinian food. I think it's delicious. I would say it's some of my favorite cuisines, like, in the world. Like, or at least, okay, we're gonna say, like, cuisines that I like within the Americas. Specifically, it's got to be New Orleans, number one, Mexican food, Argentinian food. I'm a big fan of like what they be eating in Montreal too. Like, I do like Montreal bagels. I love their I love poutine. Like, I love a lot of the shit they do with like meat and duck up there. Like, I'd say like it's very interesting. Like, I'd say New Orleans takes French food and makes it like spicy and like flavorful and vibrant and incorporates a lot more like flavor. And in Montreal, they take French food and make like a stick to your bones style, like survive the American winter type food. That's just like ultra decadent. But yeah, what the fuck was I talking about? Oh yeah, fugaceta, the Argentinian stuffed cheese bread. I'll insert some pictures of like what we made together. It was absolutely fire. Like, we were literally just sitting there eating it and like glazing each other for like 3 hours about like how talented we are. The truth is that she is mostly talented. This was when my back was still like horribly fucked up, and like I prepped like vegetables, and I prepped and soaked the onions, and like I think I chopped some vegetables for the salad and stuff, but like she was largely responsible for everything that made that fugaceta delicious. So I highly recommend this recipe. I'll link it below, and you gotta do it, all right? My last favorite has gotta be a pregnancy pillow. If you are a lower back pain queen, like, I think this has been what's helped me more. I think I might have already said, I'm gonna do a whole video about like my experience dealing with like sciatic pain. I've been through chiropractic, I've been through medical doctors. What I've been doing has been helping me more than like either of them. I feel like I've wasted all this fucking money, all this fucking time, like super pissed off. Legitimate. Anyway, even if you're not pregnant, like the way a pregnancy pillow cradles your body, it basically means that you sleep in a supported position so you actually heal over the night. If you're the kind of person where like you find with your back pain every morning you wake up and it hurts the worst in the morning until you get moving, that's probably because you're not sleeping in a supported position. So that pregnancy pillow has saved my fucking life. I think everybody needs one. I'm never gonna have children. I'm never gonna be pregnant. But like, the reason they make pregnancy pillows for like the back pain that like pregnancy can cause you, because it supports your back. So like, by all means, please, if you have back pain, that's like the one thing that I would recommend before all other things. Genuinely, especially if you find when you wake up in the morning, it hurts the worst. I don't know why this isn't like widely recommended. I don't know why people don't talk about it. Maybe it's because like stuff around like pregnancy and women's health is like still kind of taboo and weird, but like there's like a mass market of like pregnancy pillows. Like, you're not stealing one from a pregnant woman if you buy one and you're not pregnant. So that's been saving my fucking ass. Cannot recommend it enough. Now we're gonna get into two things that I have like a complicated relationship with. So before we get into these things, I want to give trigger warnings, okay? inappropriate stuff with like younger girls, like in an anime way, doesn't jive with you, please leave my video. And if talking about like SA and like that is super triggering for you, please leave. Do not pass go. Like, you don't need to be here. Don't let anybody like trigger you or fuck with you. I'm being infinitely clear. I'm gonna say it one more time. All right. If the harm, the SA of like women and girls is triggering for you, bye. Don't be here. If you're still here, cool. Like, so we're gonna be talking about like two different things that I watched over the past 2 months, but that I have like a complicated relationship with, mostly because of what we just said. I hesitate to, especially all right, we're just gonna get into it. I don't know, like, because I really wished the YouTuber who recommended one of these things to me had given adequate fucking trigger warnings, all right? But he didn't, man. So what we're gonna talk about first is Neon Genesis Evangelion. So I watched this for the first time. It has to be one of the most recommended and like influential animes of all time. I'm not a huge anime person, but I'm not an anime hater either. Like I'm a huge fan of Serial Experiments Lain. Love that shit. But I'm often in animes, I find it kind of like, it's almost like a jump scare, because like, especially Neon Genesis Evangelion does this, like they'll ask all of these like deep existential questions and bring up all these themes. Something that I found really fascinating about Neon Genesis Evangelion is like kind of like the clash between like Western ideas of like religiousness, like in evoking like Western imagery, versus like this very Eastern idea of like religiousness and God, where like all things are like one and like all things work together as a part. So kind of the idea that like the separations between all of us through ego are what create misery is super Eastern and interesting. So like it would go into like all this, but then you would have like naked 14-year-old girls, like upskirts of 14-year-old girls, like very hypersexual 14-year-old girls, or like weird like jokes about like PDF. I hate that I have to use like euphemisms and shit. Like it's something that I'm gonna have to do if I don't want to have like, I don't know, if I want to grow a platform. I'm like prisoner to the censorship. But again, like it's so off-putting for me, because I'm like, one, like, are you making, like, are you want to be deep and philosophical? Do you want to ask questions? Like, are you literally deconstructing the art of animation itself as a part of, like, the complete breakdown and joining of all things? Or, like, are you making, like, stuff for, like, adult men who, like, want to hump children? Like, and I find that always really throws me off in like animes I watch, especially, it's like, it's kind of the same vibe as like when you're reading like Nietzsche or something, or like, and he'll make these like really interesting points about like how as humans we need to like invent our own meaning in the world around us, and then he'll be like, black people aren't people. It's just like, God damn it. Like, and I guess in the same way, like, especially with older animes, you kind of have to like, I know like in like academic spaces, sometimes they'll refer to things as being like presentist, where it's like, oh, you can't look at something, you can't look at like writings written in the 1890s, like from the perspective of somebody today and expect them to have like like the wokeness that you have, but especially Neon Genesis Evangelion was not made in like 1740, all right? Like as far as I know, there was no anime in 1740. If you're like the high level, if you're like the arch weeb, let me fucking know. If there was anime in like feudal Japan, let me fucking know. But yeah, man, so I felt kind of like torn with Neon Genesis Evangelion because I was like, one, the art style is super sick, the robots and like the action scenes, I'm like, hell yeah, brother, but I'm like, I don't think it was necessary in this like super fascinating exploration of like where man and machine come together and like what separates all human beings from each other and like what like the real cause of suffering is, and like exploring this clash of like East and Western like ideologies, you know. I don't really think it was necessary to totally like have all these weird like like just these weird like very exploitative like PDF like things with the young girls and like occasionally the like boy too. Like I don't know, but I would recommend Neon Genesis Evangelion because I think if you're gonna watch like anime, like you kind of have to accept that I started dating like not the arch weeb, but maybe like I don't know, I don't understand how like medieval classifications work or whatever, but like a weebette perhaps, like what's below the archbishop? Would it just be like the father weeb? I don't know. I think it's very, very neon. I think the Evangelion is getting into me because I'm like combining Catholicism and like weebness. Anyway, but yeah, she was telling me that like in a lot of these animes, they would feel like, oh, like, we have to, like, put in, like, titty somewhere to, like, keep men watching because, like, they're not intelligent enough to, like, just, like, marinate in, like, the existential vibes. So, like, we have to, like, put some titties in there. And, she said that that's kind of, like, why they do that. But I feel like they're doing it because it was made by men who themselves are not, like, evolved enough to escape the lure of the fat titty, which like I'm not either, but like it's kind of like if I'm watching like Hammer horror, right, like, or like an exploitation film from like the 60s or 70s and like there's gratuitous sex and boobs everywhere, I'm like, yeah, that's like the conventions of the genre, like that's what like you can't, or like it's like going into a like pornographic going into a did a shrimp fry this rice ass movie and being mad that there's like naked people in it, like that's on you. But like I just don't like it takes me out of like marinating in the existential questions if I'm like, oh, jump scares PDF, like I don't want that. Next thing that I have a really complicated relationship with was the movie Blood for Dracula. So this was, I don't know, I feel like I'm such a small YouTuber that it doesn't even matter, but I saw this because the Cobwebs channel, which I really like him, he's recommended a lot of movies that I really, really like, but in this case, I think he was like a little bit irresponsible, and like the way it was recommended is weird. So I've seen him reference Blood for Dracula in like vampire movies of the 70s. I saw his list on like favorite Dracula performances. Like this is one where I've seen him mention it in at least like 3 or 4 different list videos. Again, like if you want to get deeper into like cult and horror films, infinitely recommend the Cobwebs channel. But in this case, the way he recommended Blood for Dracula, he was basically like, oh, this is like a disgusting and gross vampire movie with like a really unique take on Dracula. He really left out almost all of like the core things about the movie, in which case there is a lot of essay on women and children as like a core point of the movie, and like I could understand not including that trigger warning if like it's something that's like briefly mentioned in passing, but like you see a lot of like harm against women and a child in 4K, dude. So like because of that alone, if that's something that's very triggering for you, I can't recommend this movie to you. In fact, I would recommend you don't watch it. And I think it was kind of irresponsible of him to like recommend this film while leaving that out entirely. I do think it works within the context of the film, actually, and I do understand like why it's there. But again, like if there's so many people who are victims of that walking out there, like living and trying not to like, they don't want to, so like, especially if you're gonna recommend media to people, like again, like you don't need to spoil everything, but I do think if you're gonna recommend a movie with so much graphic SA, it's really irresponsible to not bring that up. Also something he totally left out is like, I'd say the major theme of the movie is like class struggle. Honestly, class struggle, like communism versus like the aristocratic order. Again, I don't know if he might have left these things out because they're very controversial, and like maybe they trip the algorithm, or like maybe people would yell at him like in the comments for even using like words like that because they don't know what they mean, but like I'm already like an ugly fat gay bitch, and like a lot of people don't like me anyway, so I can say whatever I want. Like I just think it was really weird of him to recommend this movie and leave out like, I think it was like 5 scenes or something. Like it just keeps happening, dog. Really weird of him to recommend that and leave out like the theme, like the whole point of the movie is like class struggle. Like, have you ever heard that quote? It's like, the old world is dying and the new one is struggling to be born. Here's the time of monsters. That's literally what this movie is. So like, I had a difficult time watching it, but like, it's incredibly thought-provoking and fascinating. And like, I can't stop thinking about it. So like, I would highly recommend this movie. It was also produced by Andy Warhol. So there was a time where Andy Warhol was like getting into directing and shit, but he got shot and it like fucked him up, which is, you know, he was like a frail child as well. So like, dude, just mad body problems. But after he got shot, he needed, obviously, like, he couldn't work as hard. He was struggling. So he stepped back into like producing. And so this is an Andy Warhol produced movie about like vampirism as like a metaphor for class struggle and like misogyny, kind of like the sick and disgustingness like of the old world aristocracy. And like, I think something that I found really interesting about Blood for Dracula is like the idea that like in so many old royal families, because of like inbreeding, so many of these people were like so wildly ill that like there's not even and here's a dude who's like pale and like creepy and like disgusting. This is a very disgusting movie, and it has to be one of the most pathetic takes on Dracula I've ever seen. Pretty much you don't get a lot of pathetic Dracula. I really like it. You have pretty much just this movie, Blood for Dracula, and you have Herzog's Nosferatu, where you have like a pathetic, creepy, socially awkward, gross Dracula. The misogyny in Blood for Dracula is literally, I don't think, like, I've seen a ton of movies, like, that strikes me as the most misogynistic and like disgusting movie I've seen in forever, dude. I mean, I watch like old movies, I watch new movies, like, I don't know. So ultimately, I'm so glad that like the Cobwebs channel exists and he recommended this movie to me, because it's deeply fascinating for me, like why I'm really drawn to like the vampire genre. Like, don't get me wrong, like I love the hallmarks of the vampire genre. I love seeing fangs and neck. Huge fan of Dracula, all right? But like I also love like the different ways that we can use the vampire to say different things about ourselves and our society. And like Blood for Dracula is like a fascinating period piece. It's one of the only movies I've ever seen where I feel like almost nobody in it can act in a way that like a normal human being would act. Like there's just so much acting that's so bad, but in the case of Dracula, I think it's an amazing Dracula performance, like in the context of the film. Like he's one of my favorite Draculas, like no questions asked. But because of the rampant misogyny and the rampant SA in the film, if you want to see that, don't watch it. But I can't say I enjoyed watching it. I'll talk more about it when I do my next roundup of like the 13 last horror movies I've seen. But yeah, like Neon Genesis Evangelion and Blood for Dracula, very mixed feelings, but they're very evocative and like interesting pieces of art with a lot to say about the human experience. Especially if you're an Andy Warhol fan, I think you should see like the films he produced and directed and whatever. So anyway, we're gonna go from like things I loved, things I have a complicated relationship with. Now we're gonna talk about the things that I fucking hated. Let's spill the tea, dog. So first off, on a first date, I went to this cafe in Centro in Mexico City. It's called Le Petit Gâteau. It's 100. I'm old. I didn't even hear about it. The person I'm dating, they're a little bit younger than me, so like they found out about it on TikTok, and I was like, you know, I'll go wherever you want. Like I'm open to trying whatever, but we went there, like they make desserts that are like very pretty. I'll insert pictures. So like they look good for TikTok, but they taste horrible. Like neither of us finished what we got. Like it's been a long time since I went out to eat and got something that was so disgusting to me that I couldn't finish it. You know, and usually I wouldn't want to like talk shit on like small businesses, but like it's a really big pet peeve of mine when like bougie or like fancier restaurants like will make food just to like go viral on TikTok, and then you get it and it doesn't taste very good. Like I can't lie, after we finished up there, we went to a second place and I got molletes, because that's what I want. I want like good ass chill, delicious Mexican food. Like I want molletes, I want a cappuccino, I want some salsa. Like that's it. Like yeah, so Le Petit Gâteau, like again, like if you look at the pictures of the desserts, like they look super beautiful and intriguing. Tasted like soap, man. Like it was just not for me, man. Like I'm a big hater of like TikTok restaurants. Like I don't mind, and again, like you do eat with your eyes too. Like I think it's cool when you get a plate and it looks beautiful, but do you know what looks beautiful to me? Like a plate of chilaquiles verdes, okay? That's like the size of a newborn baby. And just the smell of like the salsa, like that's beautiful to me. I'm not bougie, dude. I was not into this. I did not like it. Anyway, we're gonna move on because I don't want to just like hammer on them. But if you are in Mexico City, I cannot recommend Le Petit Gâteau. I did really like the cappuccino I got though. So next fail for me is Dracula, A Love Tale. Again, I'll go into this. I'll link it below. In the last video I posted, I'm ranking the last 13 horror movies I saw. Dracula, A Love Tale, there was just, I feel like it really, we're gonna keep it real short, all right? It suffered from like exposition-itis where like, which I would say like, there's some movies that suffer from exposition-itis that I like. One thing I think of the top of my head is Sleepy Hollow. I think that's from like 1999. Yeah, sometimes I can get into it. This movie, I was like, I don't really care about these characters. I don't really like the vibes. Like, please show me things and stop telling me things. I hated the Dracula as a perfumer subplot as well. If you want to know more about that shit, I'll link that video below, because like, God, I hated Dracula, A Love Tale. Like, I really feel like they just took, like the Francis Ford Coppola, like where Gary Oldman is Dracula. They were like, let's take this, but like add more shit to it for no reason and make it worse. Now, if you look into the making of Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula, there was so much like love and intention and like brilliant shit in there. Like one big thing they did was decide to like make the costumes, like the set pieces, and invest all of the money, or not all of the money, but like really invest in like costumes instead of like crazy like effects and CGI. They practical effects, beautiful costumes, highly effective. Dracula, A Love Tale, dumb. So like, it's like Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula, but stupid. 0 to 10. Next thing, so sun protection is incredibly important to me. Again, I live in Mexico City. It's very sunny here all the time, and I'm one of the whitest things to have like ever lived that has escaped the bottom of the ocean. So like, anyway, these two SPFs, even right now, like while I'm filming this video, I pretty much just have lip product on. I have the Viral Beauty of Joseon SPF on, and I have the Maybelline Fit Me powder on, and that's it. SPF and powder on like lip product, that's it for me, homies. So I've recently, this is actually going to be an empty too. Empty's video coming one day. The Naked Sundays Mineral Glow SPF has to be one of the most disgusting mineral sunscreens I've ever used in my life. Like, so if you have sensitive skin, it didn't irritate me. If you have very dry skin, it is like very glowy, but it also literally feels like you're rubbing like oily Play-Doh on your face. Like, it's just so thick. It's so present on the skin. Like right now with like the Beauty of Joseon SPF, honestly, like I find with a lot of K-Beauty SPFs, they just have like better chemical filters and they're more elegantly formulated. Once you become spoiled by K-Beauty SPF, it's just like over for you hoes. Like, anyway, Naked Sundays just feels very gross, very present. You're very cognizant, like you feel that all day long. It like never goes away. It gathers. So like, I'm 33. I think I have like, I think I look my age, but I have like, I'm starting to get like some necklines and stuff. The pigment would like gather in my like neck wrinkle. So if you have more mature skin, I think this would literally like, I felt like this was just forming a trench in my neck fat. Like, but if you have facial hair, so like I have PCOS, so I grow some facial hair. Some days I shave it, some days I don't. I don't really give a fuck. So like, I found often mineral SPFs, the pigment can like gather in like your eyebrows and gather in like my facial hair if I don't shave. So, but if you have, so I think if you have, it is facial hair and like eyebrow friendly, but it depends, I guess. Like, if you like some people I've heard, like they like feeling like they have an SPF on because like it makes them feel more confident that they're like covered up. I would not recommend this. I would not repurchase it. I think it feels gross. And the glow is like a little bit Tin Man-y. Like, it's not like a pretty natural glow. So that was a big fail for me. And my last fail of the month, it's gotta be the K-Skin SPF lip balm. Now, I'm really attracted to like their packaging, and I thought their products looked super cool. Their lip SPF genuinely tastes like fucking poison. Like, it tastes like an artificial sweetener and poison. So like when I put that on, like, so I don't know, there's certain lip SPFs I have where like the taste doesn't really bother me, or like whatever flavor they put into it like hides the SPF flavor enough that it's super wearable for me. Or like, you know, if sometimes like if you're eating or drinking, they'll get into your mouth and it's a little bit gross, but like otherwise it's wearable. This makes me feel like genuinely sick. Like, no thank you. I think the best lip SPFs I've tried are the Blackjack lip SPFs. At least for me, like they have flavors that taste good, and you don't really get like that disgusting SPF flavor. Like sometimes I can take it a little bit. I think the flavor of the K-Lip SPF is like it's like sweet and low and like sunscreen just like leaching into your mouth and you can't escape it until you feel nauseous. So 0-10 for me, unfortunately. If you have lip SPFs you like, please let me know. Like, I'm always on the lookout to protect my grotesque whiteness from the evil sun. Anyway, that's my favorites and fails for July and August. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know, like, if you've tried any of these products or like any of these recipes, seen these movies. Let me know, like, what do you think? Are you into them too? Do you think I'm fucking wrong? I'm an Aries. I love to fight, so just fucking go. All right, bye.